What's up, fight fans? Welcome back to SportsKeeda MMA News. Islam Makhachev sends a stern warning to Charles Oliveira after the former champ snubs him. Boxing legend Mike Tyson will not face charges in connection with his recent airplane assault. Joanna Jedrzejczyk has championship dreams after a lackluster strawweight title fight. Bisping calls Charles Oliveira the most exciting fighter in the UFC. And Teddy Atlas puts Michael Chandler's championship characteristics into perspective. All this and more on today's edition of SportsKeeda MMA News. If you see any of your favorite fighters mentioned in today's video, make sure to blast that like button. Let's get started. The number 4 lightweight contender in the world isn't happy that the former champion Charles Oliveira is snubbing him of a title shot. Oliveira recently spoke about his next opponent after submitting Justin Gaethje in under a round at UFC 274. While the next move in the lightweight division was expected to be a title eliminator between Makhachev and Beneil Dariush, now Uncle Dana might reconsider. After pressure from Khabib Nurmagomedov and Joe Rogan to book Makhachev as Oliveira's next opponent, there's a good chance fans will see the two fight for the vacant lightweight strap next. Oliveira doesn't seem to agree. Here's what Oliveira had to say to MMA Fighting. Makhachev has to fight Dariush first. They both have to fight and we'll see who are fighting or not. Makhachev is super tough and deserves all the respect in the world. Dariush is also super tough and has a great team. It will be a great fight, so let them fight first and see what will happen down the line. Do you expect anything less from the man who called out Conor McGregor instead of any active lightweight? Oliveira then stated his true intentions on Twitter. Just for the record, I like to break records, and I want to break another, fighting twice in the same night. I can knock out Conor and make Diaz tap. What do you think, Dana White? Islam Makhachev wasn't too fond of that. Here's Makhachev's reply on Twitter. Charles Oliveira, it's funny you calling out Nate, who hasn't won a fight in years, and same time saying I have to earn something. Just say it straight that you're scared to lose. Your jiu-jitsu won't work in our fight, and you know that. And you think Islam is annoyed by that snub? Take a look at how Conor McGregor reacted to Oliveira in a since-deleted tweet. At Charles Oliveira at Dana White, shut up you bum and get back to that favela and pay your piece. The 22-1 Islam Makhachev seems to be the next what if in Charles Oliveira's career. What if Oliveira can finish one of the brightest Dagestani fighters since the reign of teammate Khabib Nurmagomedov? After defeating Bobby Green and Dan Hooker, two short-notice replacements, the MMA world is starving for Makhachev to be tested by any elite lightweight. Meanwhile, the 33-8 Oliveira has finished Michael Chandler, Dustin Poirier, and Justin Gaethje in less than a year. This is a fight that will put Makhachev's 10-fight win streak against Oliveira's 11-fight win streak and settle the debate of lightweight supremacy. Do you think Charles Oliveira could handle Islam Makhachev? Leave a comment down below and you might be featured in tomorrow's video. Remember when Mike Tyson ruthlessly punched a man who was harassing him on a plane? Well, looks like he didn't get in trouble, and I don't think anybody is too upset over it. Back in April, an intoxicated man identified as Melvin Townsend reportedly harassed and threw a water bottle at Mike Tyson's head while on a flight headed to Florida. The video that circulated of the incident showed Mike Tyson raining down punches on the belligerent and causing a social media storm. The San Mateo County DA's office provided an update to the investigation into the incident and said this. We have reviewed the police reports of the San Francisco Police Department and the San Mateo County Sheriff's Office and have viewed the various videos collected by law enforcement from others on the plane. Our decision is that we will not file any charges against Mr. Tyson based on the circumstances surrounding the confrontation. These include the conduct of the victim leading up to the incident, the interaction between Mr. Tyson and the victim, as well as the requests of both the victim and Mr. Tyson that no charges be filed in this case. It seems that Tyson narrowly avoided charges if it weren't for the victim refusing them to be filed. Iron Mike Tyson ruled heavyweight boxing from 1987 to 1990 as the undisputed champ, until heavy underdog Buster Douglas ended his reign. Tyson retired from boxing with a 50-6 record, but most recently fought Roy Jones Jr. in an exhibition bout. How satisfied are you that Mike Tyson got off scot-free? The former UFC strawweight queen was left in shock, as most fans were, at the absolute nightmare of a title fight at UFC 274. Joanna Jedrzejczyk is set to make her octagon return against Zhang Weili at UFC 275, a rematch of one of the most historic women's fights in UFC history. Recently, Joanna reacted to Carla Esparza becoming a two-time champion in a fight that might have given Lewis vs. Ngannou a run for its money. Here's what Joanna had to say about the title fight. I was very surprised, because sometimes you have to do more. You have to do much more to beat the champion. I can't speak for Rose, but I don't know what happened. But that first round wasn't good. The second wasn't. And sometimes you have to do something to get the victory, even paying a big price. Till the end of the fight, I thought Rose got it, but no. Carla, I really thought she was going to look better. I was like, this girl is going to look better. She has so many wins on her streak, but for me, she looked the same as when we fought for the belt 7 years ago in Dallas. And history likes to make a circle, and soon I'm to be the champ. Strong words from the woman who is tied with Amanda Nunes for the most title fights in women's MMA history. The 16-4 young Jacek is only 2-4 in her last 6 fights, but those losses are only to champions. She has not fought since UFC 248 2 years ago, but aims to shoot for UFC Gold once again in her return. Do you think Joanna beats Weili this time? High praise from one champion to another? There is no superior form of flattery in this sport. Former UFC middleweight champion Michael Bisping recently reacted to Charles Oliveira's dominant win over Justin Gaethje. Oliveira knocking down and submitting Gaethje after getting rocked badly completely reversed the narrative that he had no heart. And for Bisping, it also meant the emergence of someone possibly more exciting than Michael Chandler. Here's what Bisping had to say.
Charles Oliveira is the most exciting person in the UFC. Nobody brings the finishes like him. Nobody brings the action. Nobody marches forward. And he was going forward after being dropped a couple of times. You know, when Justin dropped him, I thought, holy And then Justin, was like, I ain't playing that jiu-jitsu game. Lets him back to his feet. Charles landed a few shots. Boom, gets dropped again. Lets him back up. Then Charles was landing those knees to the midsection. They were powerful. They were very good. I'm sure it took a lot of wind out of Justin.
Bisping knows a thing or two about bringing excitement to the octagon. He was one of the most prolific shit-talkers in the game. Then he asked the question that's on everyone's mind.
Now the real question is, who's next?
Oliveira is not only the rightful champion in many fans' eyes, but he's also now the number 4 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, one spot ahead of heavyweight king Francis Ngannou. What do you think? Is Charles Oliveira more exciting than Michael Chandler? While you're still here, subscribe to SportsKeeda MMA and hit that bell. And last but not least, legendary boxing coach Teddy Atlas also reacted to UFC 274, but was notably impressed with Michael Chandler, who aged Tony Ferguson about 90 years with a devastating front kick. After a round where fans saw a near resurrection of Ferguson, Michael Chandler stopped that phoenix in its tracks by launching a front kick that rendered Ferguson unconscious for a few minutes. Chandler would celebrate with multiple backflips and callouts over the biggest names in the lightweight division, including Conor McGregor. Teddy Atlas was impressed to say the least, and had this to say on a recent episode of The Fight.
He was more in control when he needed to be in control. He wasn't reckless, he was just productive, efficient, effective, and dynamic. And he went out there and scored one of the greatest knockouts you're ever going to see. I mean, Ferguson was literally, you said it already, he was out for minutes. And that's what I took away from that fight. Look out for Mr. Chandler.
Wise words from the Hall of Fame trainer who has led several fighters to boxing glory, including heavyweight champion Michael Moore and Alexander Povetkin. The 23-7 Michael Chandler is now 2-2 in the UFC, but every single fight has contained at least one savage highlight reel moment. And after doing to Tony what nobody else has done, Uncle Dana might consider giving him a rematch with Oliveira for the lightweight strap. Or Chandler might even fight a certain someone from Stockton? Where does Michael Chandler go from here? That about does it for SportsKeeda MMA news. Here are some of the best comments from today. Elite level BJJ versus elite level Combat Sambo. Damn, I wanna see it make that fight. McNugget won't do You don't deserve a rematch, Fruity Pebbles. If you like this video, please like, comment, and share. Your comments could be featured in the next SportsKeeda MMA news video. We always deliver daily content, so make sure you subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss anything going on in the MMA world. For updates, quotes, and exclusive interviews from all your favorite fighters, follow SportsKeeda MMA on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you for tuning in.